Oropallo joining us here on the blab. Oh, there you are. You're in your shop. I'm so psyched. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually in my garage. My shop is way cooler, but this can be done in the garage.
So for anyone who doesn't know watching, you have to know who she is because she's not only was on HGTV or DIY Networks.
HGTV.
And voted fan favorite for America's Next Handyman. And you can tell why I hire a handyman. You can hire a handy woman like Allison. And she's not only just a TV carpenter and a tradesperson, she teaches people in real life. She's a STEM. She's all about the STEM. That should be a song, all about the STEM. There should be an anthem. Science and technology, engineering and math. I think that rules. I did technology too. Oh, right. So you just saw me making these little, pretty little things. Now I'm going to bring out the wood. I'm very excited. So you have a project that you had sent to me that was making a wine buddy. And I think everybody in the world could use a wine buddy.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you what it looks like?
Yeah, show everybody what it looks like to get started.
And now I'm on an iPad, so I'll try to angle it. But these are my most popular stocking stuffer. People love these. Sorry, so you can see, basically, I call it a wine buddy because it goes around the neck of the bottle. Sorry, I'm not a camera person. There we go.
No, I can see
and it. 2 wine glasses hang from it. Super easy. You can mass produce them very fast and give a couple to everyone in your family. And they're really good gifts. They're very popular.
I can see why, because it is something that is also easy to store too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And make a lot of scrap.
Okay, so let me grab my box of stuff for. Here we go. I got it. So, scrap wood.
Perfect.
And
Perfect. Okay.
To make the hole, you have a drill press, right, in your shop?
In the shop that I actually make these in, yes, but I don't have one here. So I was going to, I know it can be done with just, I don't know what you have for drill bit, but I use Forstner bits.
That's really smart. I don't have that. I have this.
Oh, okay, spade. That should work. That'll be fine.
Well, I cheated. I have to say I cheated because I was thinking that it would be really hard to do where I'm standing right now. I cheated.
Nice. All right.
Oh, wait, look, I finished. No, sir.
Very good.
Yes.
All right.
No, but this is an alternative. It's probably not as pretty of a cut as what you have. But you can get the job done if you have a drill or an impact driver, and spade bits are easy to pick up at a home improvement center.
Exactly.
And most everybody has a cutoff, and if you don't, you can ask them at the home improvement center to cut you a board to the size that you want. You can walk out of there with this too. So don't worry about saws.
And even better, what I've started doing, I've really gotten into pallets. This year's Christmas batch is going to be made all out of pallet wood because it's already the thickness that you kind of want to do a thinner piece of wood. And pallet wood free. Sand it. It look like this. The weathered look I like, but some people like it to look more finished.
It's true.
So I sanded one side just to show you it could be either, whatever you're going for. You don't have to buy the wood.
Yeah, I love that. Upcycling the pallet wood, and everyone's into pallets these days. We built a pallet Minecraft maze for our son's birthday. And so we have all these pallets now in our backyard. I'm thinking about different things to use. And I should have grabbed a piece of that wood instead of this, but this is what I have right here. But yeah, so making a wine buddy for 1 wine bottle and 2 glasses. 2 glasses.
Perfect.
The best part is giving this gift too. Like it's only a piece of wood, and literally you can make someone so happy and be like, wow, how did you make that? And it's just a couple of cuts. So Allison, can you like lead us through how to do this? How you do this?
Yes. So I just uniformly cut all the scrap wood that I collect over the year in my shop. I just cut it all to 12.5 inches long. I mean, you could make it any length, but you don't want it to extend too far, and you don't want the glasses to hit the bottle. So 12.5 inches is what I found to be the best length. And I find the center. I tell my students the fastest way to find the center of a rectangle is to take a straight edge and make an X corner to corner. And that'll tell you the exact center of your piece of wood. So even if it's a little longer than 12.5, you'll still have your center. Because you want this to be pretty well, it's a balancing act. So it needs to be pretty centered. Then what I do, once I mark my center, I use a scratch awl. I'm backwards on this camera. And I do a little divot so the drill goes exactly where I want it to go. And like I said, I use Forstner bits, but if you have a spade, they're much cheaper. They work great, so highly recommend that. If you do use a spade, I recommend putting a piece of scrap wood underneath when you drill so it doesn't tear out the other end.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I always want to put scrap wood. Yeah.
It's not
and then what I do is I go 3 inches in from either side, and I use a 5/8 bit. You can, depending on what type of glasses you have, you can alter the size. And I drill the hole right here and here, and then I just take a jigsaw, or if you have an awesome shop and you have a bandsaw, just nice straight lines, and then I route the edges, sand it real quick. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's real easy.
Now, when you finish that, you could actually, and I tried to follow your like visually. You had sent me a picture, so this isn't exactly what you made, but I mean, it'll do the job. But then after you do all that beautiful woodworking and carpentry, like there's an opportunity to write a little message or something, like a quote or something that's important to you or whoever you're sending it or giving it to, just to remember. Or you can bling it up too if you're into doing that kind of work too. It's like you can decorate it however you want, have the kids paint on it, like if it's for an aunt or grandma or somebody. I think that could be cool too. But I love your tip about finding the center. I think that's something a lot of people get frustrated with because they're trying to do math and you're trying to do like, okay, so what is half of 15 7/8? Okay, so, but yeah, you don't have to do that. And I think good carpenters know that you can figure stuff out with those little tricks. And that's also how you can find out to make sure that you're square, because if the distance from one corner to the opposite corner is the same as the other, then you know that you've done a good cut. So yeah, this is so super cute. I love this idea, and this is a great way to get started into woodworking too. Now,
this great intro project.
So you haven't done this project at school, I hope, right?
I haven't, although I do have some students who take me for 4 years who want to get their, they want gift ideas. And if they have parents that are big wine drinkers, I'll let them make a couple of these.
No, that's great. I love that. I absolutely do. And how easy is this? I love the decorating the part of it too. I am such a girl. I like walk the edge between I'm with the guys all the time on job sites and stuff, but I'm the one that also always has jewelry on. Those guys have been like, I found your bracelet. Like, I stepped on it. I'm like, yeah, I have to have bracelets on. It's how I am. Yeah, so there's a lot of tear out on here. Like you can see, it's not that hot. But
yeah, so yeah, all you had to do is put on scrap wood and it won't happen.
yeah, that is such a good tip because I was just going to like say, oh, that's the bottom of it. So, but yeah, that would definitely be an awesome thing. And then I was thinking, you know, an oscillating tool could be for making the, I mean, it would take a lot longer to do, but a lot of people have those these days. And then you can also use the sanding parts to it to like sand it up as well.
Yeah. You could even use a coping saw, a hand coping saw. I mean, those things are probably $12 at a store. They're very useful. You just got to go slow so you make a straight cut.
Yes. That's a really good tip too, the coping saw. I hadn't even thought of that. How cool is that? Okay. Where did you come up with this idea?
So it's actually a funny story. My dad is super creative. I swear the only thing he knows how to do, he doesn't know how to watch the TV. He's not old, but he can't figure out a remote. But he has learned how to watch YouTube on his iPhone. And I think that's all he watches. So one day in the mail, I got this big box of little pieces of wood like this. And my dad said, you got to do something with this wood. It's great wood. It's from Hawaii. Someone was throwing it away. And you have to come up with something for your next craft fair. Come up with some kind of cool project. And so we came up with this idea. And it's been it saves wood in my shop. I don't throw it away. I save it for wine buddies. It really keeps wood out of the landfill. People do love them. I have realtors who will buy like 20 at a time as gifts to all the people who bought houses. So yeah, it was fun. It was kind of me and my dad coming up with a fun idea with a box of wood he sent me in the mail, because that's what my dad does. He sends me boxes of wood.
That is really awesome. Like that. Yeah. What a cool dad.
He is a cool dad. He's a really, he's a very creative dad.
So, you know, I've talked with you several times before over the years, and you're awesome because you always bring such creative energy and ideas whenever we're talking. And you're with kids all day long. And so you have to be totally thinking on your feet, trying to come up with creative ways to get kids involved in DIY and getting them to do projects and being happy about doing the projects too, which is even harder than like dealing with grown-ups. But like, I didn't even know that. I read somewhere that you couldn't hear when you were born. Like, you started off in life not being able to hear very well. And has that sort of like, I'm curious, has that sort of informed the way that you work?
I definitely think so. I mean, I went first 5 years of my life not hearing. So when I got to kindergarten, I still couldn't talk and I still couldn't hear. So I was very behind on the social aspect of like socialization. So I functioned and communicated with my hands. And my parents said I was just into constructing and touching and building everything from an early age. And I think it's just because I couldn't hear anything. So, and as a kid, you have a lot of energy, you're really creative. I think the only way my creative juices could flow was by using my hands. So I've just been addicted to it my whole life. My siblings are not my brother's more into it, but my siblings aren't as into it as I am. So I really do think it was because I couldn't hear for the first 5 years of my life.
That is so neat. I love that. And how cool it is that like it turned into such an awesome thing. Like something that's so difficult and frustrating turned into such an amazing skill, and like how you're changing lives, because I'm around guys all the time on job sites, and I've like meeting people in Votech and stuff and they're usually all guys, cute guys that are like trying to do trade jobs and stuff. And when I see a woman, I'm like so excited. I'm like, yay.
Yeah. And, I teach mostly guys. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I teach 190 kids. Man, I mean, at least 170 of them are guys. So when I get those girls, I mean, this is life-changing stuff. When a girl learns how to use a drill and a chop saw and a table saw and can actually take they have very creative minds. My girl students, I mean, they walk out of my room taller. I mean, it's just how it works. I love teaching the girls how to do this stuff. So, and I also, and I always say it, I probably have already said it on your show, I think it's just as important for the boys to learn from a girl.
Yes.
Than it is for the girls to learn.
That is a true story. Because I've been in many places where I get looked at because I'm kind of a girly girl when you look at me, and then like boys will see that I actually have skills, and they're like, and they exactly. They have to think again about it, because you just don't know. You absolutely can't judge somebody by the way that they look, or girl or boy. Just because you're a boy doesn't mean you know how to build things.
Exactly. So it's funny because I just moved into this house a year ago, and now all my neighbors, they think I'm crazy, but with all the stuff I've been doing to the house, so now they all come knocking on the door all the time. Can you help me fix my car? Do you know how to do this GFI outlet? Like, It's funny how the tables have turned, because they kind of saw me as this small girl moving in, and all of a sudden I've been tearing up my yard and building a deck, and so now I've become like the library for tools and knowledge of the block.
Yes.
Fun.
We've been that. We are that. Yes. I mean, probably a lot of people that are watching and that are guests today are the same kind of thing, where you're the resource among your friends and neighbors and family for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, because you have the tools. Oh, yeah, I'll just borrow it from them because they have it. Like, oh, exactly. Okay. You should like charge. Like there should be like library cards or something. Oh, you have to bring booze every time you borrow a tool. Maybe make that be. We've never thought of that. You have brought booze and carpentry together in a new way.
Yeah.
Okay, can we watch you do something for all the guys watching? They want to see some action. Can you
want me to, like, build a wine bunny, or?
Yeah, just get started on it. We have a few minutes, and I think that would be, I'd like to, but I'm not in the shop. We have to do this sometime where I'm in the shop, but I'm not doing, everything else I'm doing today is like glue guns and tile stuff and things that are easy painting. You, my friend, you got the tools out. I like it.
The woodworking takes, a little bit more time than the crafting, but you should do a whole show in your shop where we can do really simple, fun things like peg games and gumball machines. Okay, so I don't have like anyone to hold the camera for me, so I'm not sure how I would make it so you could see me. I could maybe go recruit somebody to hold the camera.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. So I'll just quickly, we'll drill a hole. Now, I tell my students, I honestly, if you don't have a scratch awl at home, you don't need one, just use a nail. But I just don't see how you build things like woodworking without one, because it makes it so you drill exactly where you want to drill. Yes. So I will.
Probably one of the most underused tools that should be overused.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My students hate it. I can always tell when they didn't use a scratch awl. We're gonna go. Now, if you have a router at home, I recommend routing the whole thing when you're done. It makes it look amazing. But if you don't have a router, you could just sand it by hand. It doesn't need a lot of sanding.
And for people that don't know what a router is, what it does is it cleans up the edges all the way around, and you can make it, you make it be beveled or different kinds of, like a curved shape or like an angled shape. And it really does polish off the look of a square piece like this. I mean, rectangular piece like this, especially if you're doing a lot of cuts to it. It makes it look more like done, like finished.
Exactly. I do a woodworking camp for girls in Berkeley, California, and we just made gumball machines, and I let the kids use the router. It blew their minds. They couldn't believe that's how it's done.
Yeah. It looks like it would be much harder to make that shape, but it's not that hard at all. And that you can get different bits and make it be different for however you feel. Yeah.
All right, almost done. And I just got a cordless jigsaw. I gotta tell you, it's one of my favorites now. Another side thing that if you want to make sure, so I'm to this point right here, if you want to make sure that you do nice straight lines into the hole you just drilled, I would use a speed square. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's right against the wood, and then you can very neatly and accurately draw your lines. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Really. I have lines now that
and a speed square is something I always have in my tool pouch too, because whenever you're making any kind of cutout on any kind of dimensional lumber, you mark the line, you draw the line with a speed square, and you're done. And it's
exactly
mark stuff. It's easy to see if things are square. You know, figuring out angles and stuff. It really does help, and it's not really what it's intended for, though, is it? It's like
it's actually more for roofs, I guess. I mean, I use it framing and roof pit.
And a speed square there for like figuring out like rafters and pitches and different kinds of gables and stuff. I have no idea what all the numbers mean, but
you could get a whole degree on the speed square.
Yes,
it's awesome.
It has the secret universe of carpentry inside of it. It's yeah.
Okay, one more. Now, this happened. Now, mine actually. So, one of the drawbacks of using pallet wood is that.
Oh yeah, split
cracks. So, I have a lot of backups on hand, but this one came out nice. So this one ended up snapping off because it was a pallet wood. But, you know, most of them don't crack, so.
It's a wine buddy for one. I mean, sometimes you drink a whole bottle by yourself. It happens. There's reasons for it.
Exactly. So.
The wine then is your buddy. It's not to drink with your buddy. It becomes your buddy.
There you go. That's a good way to.
Hey, we've all been there, guys. We've all been there, right? I mean, seriously.
Exactly.
I just love this little project. This is so super smart, Allison. I think we should do like a STEM blab, and we can do a bunch of projects. You can lead us through. We'll invite a couple of people to be guests, and we'll all get in our shop and we'll like make projects. We'll be your class.
Yeah. Hey, we could even do it with some of my students if you want.
That would be even better. I would love that. Yeah. Can we do it from your classroom?
We could do it from my classroom. I do have wireless. I would have to do a little test. Sometimes the wireless is kind of bad, but otherwise you would love to see the classroom.
Well, it's that awesome. Could be our next DIY con. Well, I have to say goodbye. I think who's coming up next? Oh, Pauline. I don't see her yet. Pauline Henderson from My Altered State. She's probably digging on this project if she's watching right now, because I don't know if you've seen the stuff that she creates, but this beautiful, like these cutoffs that she does, of like crown molding and other pieces, wood pieces, and making them into art is absolutely unbelievable. All salvaged wood and things from, she rescues basically wood and makes them into art.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that kind of story. And I love what you do. I mean, you have, how many kids did you say, 190?
Probably about 190.
That's amazing. That's a lot of children.
9 through 12. Yeah, I just came from there right now. That's why I'm still like, well, you can't tell on video, but I have sawdust all over me. I've been wearing earplugs all day. Yeah, it's a lot of walking, a lot of loud noise, a lot of questions. So
A lot of questions. So you do like, so is there a teacher for each kind of course there? So is there like somebody who does electrical kinds of projects and no, you just
I do everything. The only other teacher kind of close to what I do, which isn't even close at all, is auto shop. But I teach the kids if they want to learn how to do a solar project, I have to teach them. I got a couple kids welding a go-kart from scratch. I bought them a bunch of metal and they taught them how to weld, and they're designing this entire go-kart from scratch. They're my year 3 students. We're building playhouses this year with 2nd graders, which is super fun.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Gosh, I wish I could go to your camp too.
Yeah, the camp is fun. That's gonna, hopefully we'll be offering more of those. And yeah, it's I mean, I do love my job. So
how rewarding is that? I went to high school a long time ago, and I was in a science and technology program. And so we had mechanical engineering as a class and electrical engineering, and we had a structures class and architectural drafting. And
wow.
There was a teacher for each one of those things. And it sounds like you do all of them.
I get home and my mind is going to explode. Like the other day, one of the girls came and she goes, "How do I make a wine bottle into a glass?" And I was like, oh man, we have to cut the glass somehow. So we use my tile saw and then producing these glasses that I think she's going to try to sell at a farmer's market or something. But like I get weird questions like that. Like, how do we cut this glass bottle? I get the weirdest questions all day long.
I love that question. So like you taped it before you ran it through?
Well,
like
yep.
Bottle, and then did you use like the top part of the bottle as this, like glue it back on so it's like a stem?
No, she didn't do that. She just wanted it to be just a big, hefty, cool looking glass. But I did want to make it a little bit more exciting, so I had her sandblast the top where we made the cut, and it smoothed it all out nice.
That is such a neat idea to make. Gosh, kids are everyone's so creative. I'm so psyched that, like being in touch with so many creative minds, and they aren't used to being told no as much as grown-ups are, that they're willing to ask the question. Whereas I think a lot of grown-ups are a little bit more hesitant about, why would I want to make a wine bottle into a glass? Like, what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing. I love that.
It's never ending creativity when you're in high school. So my whole thing is I don't want to say no to their ideas. So I try as hard as I can to help them follow through with their ideas. But man, sometimes they are just crazy. But it's kind of keeps my job interesting. So.
Wow, and it probably is keeping your brain, like the synapses are just firing constantly. You're like, my son asked me this morning, how many brain cells does he have? I think I looked it up. It's like 100 billion brain cells that humans have. And it's like, you probably have way more than that because of being asked those questions. You're just like,
yeah, I don't know, but I have a student who wants to be a teacher. So I said, for one full class, you're going to take all the questions, because she's a senior, and I want her to know what it's like. She was like a half an hour in, and she was like, I don't know how you do it. I can't answer these questions. They want an answer like right now, right then. And I was like, you just got to get used to it, Yeah. I mean, I've been here for 11 years.
That's awesome.
So I've seen it all.
Well, thank you, Allison. I really appreciate you taking time and rushing home from talking with 190 kids all day long to talk to us. And I love this Wine Buddy project. We're going to post it up on our website. And if you have it on your website, we'll link to you too. Do you have it up there?
I believe I do. I believe I do.
WH.
YHW.
YHW. Your Handy Woman DIY. That's the acronym for that. Gonna have to drink this bottle of wine to remember it, I guess.
Yes. Or you could just type in yourhandywoman.com. It goes to the same website. Way easier.
Yourhandywoman.com. Way easy to remember because why hire a handyman when you can hire a handy woman?
Or you could become
True story.
Yeah.
Become friends with a handy woman and then tell her to show you all of her knowledge and share her tools, and then you'll become your own handy woman.
Exactly.
I love that. That's such a good story. Okay, so I have to say goodbye to you because this is DIY and I've got our next guest is here. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, a pleasure, a pleasure. So psyched. I love this Wine Buddy project. I'm going to put this aside though because we have